Here at Premier Research Labs really are proud of our quality process. It's something that starts even before conception of a product, right? It's looking through the raw material specifications and sourcing of that product, and even the ideation, right? Looking at industry literature, trends within the consumer populace, really taking data and saying, how from a very grassroots effort can we actually build a product that really is designed to support the population's needs, right? And so, you have an ideation, right? You're looking to bring a product to market. You have to have data to actually drive that decision on what you're bringing to market to get the best results. But from there, the whole quality process has to follow the entirety of that production process to actually bring a product to market, right? So the sourcing of the raw material, making sure that we're not doing skip lot testing and making sure that that raw material has the potency and the validation around bioactive compounds that we actually need, right, to actually drive results in that finished product. And then formulating that, right, to when you're mixing all these herbals and botanicals, right, that's a complex soup of different aromatic compounds that have interactions and potentially could be counter-interactive. That quality process, we need to make sure that we're validating that it's working synergistically together to drive the results that we really want to achieve. And I think that's something that when you're working with herbals and botanicals, you have to have science behind the backbone of your entire operation, or else you're going to be providing a product to market that essentially may be lacking the substantiation or the validation to really drive results. I think as an own label distributor, we have our own branded offering that we operate in the marketplace, but we also work with private labelers and we do contract and custom formulation work. We want to make sure that we're actually a key stakeholder in the entire ownership of that quality process, right? So it doesn't actually get out of the hands and to a third party that, there's essentially, they may be skipping parts of that quality process, right? And I think any manufacturer needs to have oversight and really have an ability to audit and engage with whoever they're working with, right? And the key insights to be able to, actually critically engage with that audit to make sure that that third party is doing the work that you ultimately need to make sure that that quality is there for that, whether that's the finished product you're bringing to market, we may be bringing to market, our private labeler may be representing, or if we're doing custom formulation work, we can really stand by that third party that is in the, that we're working with. Given that we even have an in-house lab and we're building specifications for our finished products or the products that we build to market, and we're validating that, that's another just additional tier of insurance that you really have a peace of mind that, okay, this is, the nutrition facts on the product, and this is how we're making the claims that come to be and that, consumers are referencing when they make their decisions in the market. When we're building a formula, we're going through that ideation process, right? We're either looking at raw materials that have had that clinical backing, that, based on certain dosing strategies, and that we're building a product that actually fit that model, right? So that we actually have a like-for-like reference of what was clinically used in practice. And then there's a lot of industry data that we're looking to compile and reference together so that when we build a synergistic formula of botanical and herbals, we have the best combination of herbs to really provide that nourishment to the individual. I know I talked about it a little bit, but there's that validation that we work with in the specification of the potency of those herbals and botanicals. I think that's a critical thought that, anybody that's building a product and taking that to market, you have to have your own specifications in place and clinical validations behind the nutrition facts that says, okay, this is actually what's in the product, right? And you can stand by that from a stability and a nutrient-to-nutrient interaction space. I always encourage, too, there's a level of critical thinking we need to actually equip, whether it's the practitioner that you may be working with or the consumer or the buyer, right, the entrepreneur that's bringing on the product. They need to have an ability to navigate what is a clinical study and how is that run. We as consumers or manufacturers or just entrepreneurs, we need to be able to really have that scientific thinking and expect the unexpected, right? And so that we really can learn and grow and bring products to market that actually have, or better yet, are encountering that scientific frontier of really propelling the health of the population forward. Well, I think there's kind of three facets to what I would look at in terms of, really finding a company or an organization or a product they can really trust. There's that third-party verification, right? So, you don't just have somebody that is saying, these claims and that they have the best quality, but that's been verified by a nationally recognized organization that has that quality. system. So like we have NSF, USP certifications behind our name. But also there's that second facet, which they do their internal studies and they have their internal testing parameters and they're actually doing the work themselves, right? So they have an external facet and an internal facet to their quality system that really comes together to make a complete process. And then I would really encourage them to equip their own knowledge around study designs, clinical trials, and be able to read the reference literature and the quality documents that the organization would be providing. And everybody should be asking for a C of A with those formulas so that they understand, what's the quality behind the product, not just the nutrition facts panel, but the heavy metals and the potential adulterants, so that they themselves can really say, wow, this is a quality product, because not only are they doing the work from both angles, externally and internally, but they have the entire backing and backlog of data and information to back up everything they're saying, right? And that shows and showcases from I would say a very high level, right? You're not really in the deeps and the trenches of the entire process, but you have the ends results of a really good quality process. In a lot of ways, a really good quality process elevates the quality consciousness of the consumer, right? And they're not only looking for an integrity in the products that they consume, but how they live their life, right? And I think we in the natural product space, we have to have a gold standard for how we conduct quality, right? Because then that translates into the entire populace looking for that level of integrity in all facets of our life, right? And I think that's one of the most beautiful philosophical concepts to really representing quality, is it uplifts everybody to say, well, there's more to this life than that we can live for.